Good morning, guys, girls. Rob here with you. And I decided just yesterday to roll out the whole season for 1984, all 200 and whatever games, solo one by one by one by one. Okay. And first off, let me give you the teams that did not make the playoffs. Okay. Um, that it's obviously a longer list. So let me go to the AFC first, okay? Um, there were two AFC East teams that made it, three that didn't. Here's the three that didn't. Buffalo went 3-13. Indianapolis went 4-12, and the New York Jets went 4-12. Now, the other two teams made the playoffs. Now, there are three Central teams that did not make the playoffs. They were 6-10 Pittsburgh, who ended up winning the division that year. They did not make the playoffs. Also, 6-10 Houston and 8-8 Cleveland. So that tells you who made it in the Central. Then there were two teams in the AFC West on my replay that made the playoffs. These teams did not. 7-9 San Diego, 8-8 Kansas City Chiefs, 10-6 Denver did not make the playoffs. So the totally different playoffs than back in 1984 with no Steelers and no Broncos. Okay, and this is the way I'm going to play the divisional games, but this is the way the wild card came out. New England was a number 5 seed with 11-5 record, and number 4 seed was Seattle with 11-4 record. And New England played at Seattle, and they lost 31-17. Seattle moves on to the divisional round. We'll get back to that in just a minute. Well, I'll tell you what, divisional rounds, Seattle will now travel to number 1 Miami, who was 14-2. Seattle at Miami 4-1. The 4 team and the 1 team. The number 3 team was Cincinnati 9-7. They're going to travel to the LA Raiders 11-5. That will be the AFC. My two AFC teams or AFC games. I'll let you choose which one you want to see first of the AFC games. NFC. Now, if you're a big 1984 NFC uh, fan, first off, let's go to the NFC East. 2 teams made the playoffs. 3 teams did not. Let's cover the teams that did not make the playoffs. Philadelphia Eagles, they went 3-13. The St. Louis Cardinals went 8-8, did not make the playoffs. The Washington Redskins, the winner of the division that year, 11-5 winners, they went 8-8, did not make the playoffs. The other 2 teams made the playoffs. We'll get to the playoff teams in a moment. NFC Central, 1 team made the playoffs, the other 4 didn't. The 4 teams that didn't. 4-12 Detroit, 4-12 Tampa Bay, 5-11 Minnesota Vikings, 8-8 Green Bay Packers. Bears win the division. We'll come to them in just a minute. 2 teams out west made the playoffs just like they did then. 4-12 New Orleans did not make the playoffs. 8-8 Atlanta did not make the playoffs. Now the 2 wild card teams. The 2 wild card teams was number 5, um, the New York Giants, 11-5. They got them the 5th seed. They traveled to number 4, 13-3 San Francisco 49ers, the winner of the Super Bowl that year. The Niners win the wild card game 38-3. By winning that game now, number um, like I say, the 49ers are number 4. They've got to travel to number 2 Chicago. They're going to play the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Niners at the Bears. Number 3 is Dallas. Dallas went with an 11-5 record. They're going to travel to the LA Rams, who also had a 13-3 record. Now we had to go delve deep into the tiebreakers with San Francisco and the Rams. They split during this season. They each beat each team. Then divisional, they both won the same amount of divisional games. Then we had to go to NFC tiebreaker, who won the most NFC games, and uh, the Rams lost to the Bengals during the regular season. Niners lost to NFC competitors. That gave the Rams number 1 seed overall and put San Francisco all the way back to number 4. So here's our 4 playoff games that you get to choose which one we will show. We may not show all 4 of them online, so you got to pick wisely, okay? The 49ers at the Bears. 49ers playing at the Bears. Dallas Cowboys playing at the Rams. That's the 2 NFC games. The AFC games are as follows. Seattle Seahawks, when they were back in the AFC, going to Miami. They actually played each other that year. Um, and Miami won that game 31-10. Yeah, they won that game 31-10. Cincinnati going to play the Raiders. Cincinnati was not even in the playoffs that year. Let's see. Did the Niners play the Bears? Yes, they did. Niners played the Bears in the NFC Championship game. The Niners played the Bears 23-0. So, what's up, Keith? Frank Wainscott says, let's have the Bengals. The Bengals play the Raiders. We can do that. So that's 1 vote right there. And like I say, the Bengals will be hosting the Raiders too. So that's another good. No, let's see. No, they won't. Bengals traveling to the Raiders. I'm sorry. The Raiders won their division. Yeah, the Raiders were 11-5. Cincinnati was 9-7. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. And by Seattle winning their playoff game, that pushes them going to Miami. Yeah. So Frank Wainscott says, I want to see the Bengals play the Raiders. We can certainly do that. Um, this is a year removed from the Raiders winning the Super Bowl, so they're not the same team by far. They're not the same team. And Cincinnati, regular season, they were 8-8 that year. Um, if you've seen any of Alan Shaw's playbacks, he's a big Bengals. He did a whole Bengals replay. If you go back and watch that, so it's kind of wild. I got to sneeze real quick. Ooh, 2 times. So, Frank, want to thank Frank for coming on. I want to thank Keith for coming on with us. I will take votes on through the day today. I want to wish everyone Rob, I hope you and Darrell have a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're having the parents over for lunch today. Was Ken Anderson still playing? I can look and see. Let me look and see real quick. I've got my playoff matchups right here in front of me. I want to say yeah. I want to say he was. All right, Rams and Dallas, Bears and Niners. Yeah, Ken Anderson, I'm pretty sure, is still playing in. Bengals. Where's the Bengals? Miami. Let's see. That's Cleveland. There's Cincinnati. Ken Anderson was still playing. Yeah. Yeah. He was a double A on completions that year. So they really, really played well. Chris Collinsworth, Isaac Curtis. Yeah. They had offense. They didn't have much of a run game. But let's see their defensive backfield. Had Louis Breeden. He was pretty good. Ross Browner. He was a defensive lineman. Tim Crumry. Does anybody remember anything about Tim Crumry, the nose tackle? Does anybody remember him back in the day? What happened to him? Frank should know. Tim Crumry. Yeah. That was devastating. What happened to Tim? That was just a devastating injury. It was hard to watch. It really was. Does anybody remember that? Let's see. So let me get my teams together here. Broke his leg in the Super Bowl. Yep. So I got Seattle right there. I had Miami back here somewhere, I think. Thought I had Miami back here. Yep. Tim Crumry. It was bad too. It's never good you break your leg. But yeah, that was devastating. That was just a devastating injury. So there's Miami and Seattle. I got those two teams. I got Cincinnati and the Raiders. Do I have the Raiders? I don't have the Raiders out. Let me get the Raiders out. Yeah. That turf in Miami was terrible. Yeah. I actually got a Giants Rams game on that year. I got it on right now. Buffalo. Here's the Raiders. So I got the Raiders and Cincinnati right there. And then I have 49ers and Chicago. I got that right there. And Dallas and the Rams. I got them right there. All right. It should be good. It was a new sod. Yeah, I think they did I think they had just put it down. So once again, my wild card results: 49ers 38, Giants 3 in San Francisco, and New England and Seattle. Seattle 31, New England 17. And now we got the final 8 teams. We'll see what happens. It should be pretty good. And we will plan on showing, either Cincinnati, we'll show one of them. But right now, Frank would like to see the Bengals Raiders. So they get a vote. All right. Put your votes in before the end of the day. Let me know. And I will officially have a game on in the next couple days. God bless. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. If you don't get to watch my channel anymore before the new year, just realize we got our 5th anniversary coming up. 5th anniversary coming up January 1st. I do appreciate everybody. God bless. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.